Hello everybody, welcome to Music Theory Grade 3, Knowing Your Thinking Steps. Okay, this video will walk you through the various thinking steps that you need to apply in order to help you work out the answers. Alright, this video does not cover any teaching or revision of the theory concepts and topics. You should have already revised everything and you're ready to work on the questions. Okay, next slide. You can download this free sample paper from the ABRSM website. I have included the link in the description box. You can click and check it out. Otherwise, you can also click on the online sample paper grade 3. Okay, both the sample paper and the online sample paper, all the sample papers, yeah, they have the same question. So it's either you write it out or you do it on the computer digitally. Okay, both they have the same question. Okay, question 1 is we are going on to topic 1, testing us on rhythm. Okay, this question number 1, 2 and 3, they have the same question style. Okay, let's read the question together. Select the correct time signature for the bar. Okay, so what's the keyword over here? The keyword here is time signature. Okay, so when we want to know what's the time signature, first thing we have to do is we have to go and count how many beats are there in each bar. Okay, if you're working on the online paper, you can't draw the counts on your screen. So what you need is you need a blank paper, right? Okay, so on your blank paper, you just draw out the number of counts. For example, if you think the first note here, okay, let me change the color. If you think the first note here, there's one count. Okay, you can't draw it here, never mind. You can draw on your paper. Okay, you just draw one count first. Question number 1. And then you continue until the end. And then you see how many counts you have. Do take note because we are in grade 3 now. Okay, this is testing us 2 topics. One is the time signature. Right? So you have to draw the circles or your halves or your quarter for the number of counts per note. Alright, the second thing that you have to take note is you have to think about the grouping of the notes because you are in grade 3. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Drag and drop the missing bar lines to make a 2-bar melody. Okay, you can click on this bar line, okay, and then you can drag it to wherever you want it to be. And if you think that, for example, the bar line should be placed here, you just leave it here. Okay, put it nicely, and then you think, okay, you're happy with the answer, click on the answer, then it will bring you to the next question. Okay, so same thing, you have to go and count how many counts is each note. Okay, so the thinking step number 1 will be draw your circles or halves or your quarters for the notes. Okay, this question you also have to be careful, huh? What do we see over here? Yes, so you have to count this triplet very carefully. Yes, rests need to be counted. Okay, all the notes and rests. All notes and rests have to be counted. Okay, can't? Next. You're supposed to complete the following sentence by adding a number. So you can type in the number, okay? A dotted quaver is equal to how many demi-semi-quavers? So first keyword, dotted quaver. Second keyword, demi-semi-quaver, okay? So if you think a dotted quaver is how many counts, you draw out the counts, remember? Okay, let me give you an example. I'm not doing this question for you. For example, a crotchet is equals to how many quaver? Okay, so if we are given this question, first keyword we know is crotchet. next keyword is quaver, right? So in my working paper, I will draw crotchet is 1 count and quaver is half a count. So that I know that I need to cut the crotchet into like that. And then I can count 1 and 2. So my answer is 2 quavers. Okay, so this is the example. Okay, this is not the answer. You have to work out this question by yourself. Alright, let's move on. Select the correct description of this time signature. Okay, this question is testing us two things. One, okay, whether we know what's compound versus simple. Okay, number two is testing us whether we know our duple, triple, and quadruple. Okay, very easy question. Work it out by yourself. Next, select which of these bars is grouped correctly. Okay, so the keyword here is grouping. Okay, it's testing us grouping and beaming out this question. Let me change a different color. Grouping and also beaming. Okay, so what's the first thinking step? We have to look at the, yes, time signature. So first, take a look at the time signature, which is here. Okay, they are all the same time signature, just that the notes here, they are all grouped differently. So how are they supposed to be grouped? Remember, we always think of the time signature have two numbers. The bottom number will tell you the grouping. Okay, in this case, you have this time signature over here. Where's the bottom number? The bottom number is this number. Okay, so think what number this represents, and then you should know how the notes should be grouped. Let's move on. Show, okay, this is question number 12. Alright, show whether each group of rests is correct or incorrect. When we are doing this question, first thinking step is always to think about our rests and working, remember? So our rests and working, there are always 1, 2, 3, right? 3 workings. First is either to draw a circle or half based on the time signature. Sometimes you need both circle and halves. Second step is to box out time signatures that are minimum or dotted crotchet grouping. Yeah, because in grade 3 we are tested on grouping of the notes and rests. And the third step is to bracket 1, 2, 3, 4 for time signatures that are in quadruple grouping. Okay, so this question, the time signature is over here. So you have to go and think how many working steps, okay, for rests and working will 9, 8 need? Is it 1, 2, 3? Do you need 1 step, 2 steps, or all 3 steps? Okay, remember you have to draw the total number of circle or half based on the time signature first. Okay, draw out the whole thing. Okay, that means you have to draw how many steps you need here first. Then you can only shape what? Shape only the notes. Okay, you can't shape the rest. If you shape the rest forever, you will not know whether the rests are inserted correctly or incorrectly, right? Shape only the notes. So the remaining parts that are unshaded, that will be your answer. Then you can go and think, whether is it the correct rest or whether the rests are grouped correctly or not. So two things you are tested for this question. Number one, whether the rests are of the correct value. And number two, whether the rests are of the correct grouping. Okay, because we're in grade 3, we are tested on grouping of the notes and rests. Okay, so take note, this question is grouping of the rests. Okay, please make sure you think about rest and its value and rest and its grouping. Okay, this is a drop down menu, so you can select whether is it correct or incorrect. Next, let's move on. Read the question together. Look at this bar of music. Identify each of the following bars. Identify which of the following bars shows the bar above correctly written in notes of twice the value. Okay, so the keyword is notes of twice the value. Okay, so what should we think of when we are doing twice the value? First thing first, always check the time signature. Okay, in this case, the time signature is over here. So based on the time signature, okay, 4/4 means there are how many beats in the bar? Then you twice each beat and see if you get the correct time signature over here. Okay, then the next step, we have to look at the notes, because they say notes. Okay, so when we are doing this question, we have to go step each note at a time. So take a look at the first note. Okay, how will the first note look like when it's twice? You go and check whether the first notes are correct or not. Okay, if there's this number 3, make sure everybody has number 3 for the 3 notes over there. Okay, and then you continue and check until the end. You should be able to know which is the correct answer. Next.